I can understand if you guys are extremely overthinkers when it comes to a relationship. Even I sometimes get a little flustered about what I'm doing during a date, or if I'm seeing, or just friends. You really become self conscious, but there really isn't much you can do um to mess up, because if you're really your friends, or if they're really into you, like your girlfriend or boyfriend, if you're in a relationship, they're not gonna care a lot about your mistakes, because they know that it was just a genuine mistake, or you probably didn't know, and they'll forgive you. So trying to understand one another is not that big of an issue. It really isn't. um Here Tabata and the lad, I forgot his name. Holy shit, there's just so many animes, guys. Forgive me. At least I got her name right. But yeah, guys, they're really just nervous and anxious about what the other one is thinking and what the other one wants and doesn't want. Their likes and their dislikes. And I don't blame them. They're still young, they're really inexperienced, but what they don't realize is all their actions are not that big of a deal. You know, it's like, bruh, if they're really into you, they're not gonna care if you wear your hair a certain way, if you wear things a certain way. Of course, you need to put a little bit of effort. That doesn't mean you don't shower for 1 month. Holy shit. But if your actions are genuine, they will respond in kind. If your mistakes are genuine, they'll respond in kind. And these are the early years. You know what I'm saying? If you're still in middle school and high school, like, you really shouldn't care what the other one thinks in terms of romance. You know what I'm saying? In terms of romance, like, go on a date, go to McDonald's, BK, picnic. Things get a little bit more different when you're older, because now there's standards. That's the scary part. If you can find a significant other before you go into the real world to avoid those standards, that would just be ideal. But yeah, once you're older like me, now there's standards. You got to pay for everything. You got to discuss whether you want to do things 50-50, in which case it's just, just the times are different nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It just becomes a little bit more awkward. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to care. I'm always going to be the one to initiate, hey, where we're going. Hey, I'm the one paying. Oh, guess what? Where we're going. I am always the one to push for certain things. Now, if the guy wants to do something, I might be like, you know what? We're going to do what I want and what you want, and we'll both win. It's a win-win situation. But yeah, it's just those early times when you're first starting dating, or things are a little rickety. But then once you get into like 2-3 months, you guys are like communicating like crazy people. There's just so much communication that you lose that sense. In the beginning, it's the funnest, in my opinion. That confusion, the not knowing, the mystery of it all. Those are probably the funnest moments, within a relationship. But then once the honeymoon period is over, you guys are gonna communicate. You're gonna start missing those times where you really didn't know what you were doing. You really didn't know what they really wanted. So I say just enjoy it. And bro, this dude, his younger brother is hilarious, man. I think, his younger brother is probably the smartest one in this show, despite being the youngest. He could already see through Tabitha. He could already see through his older brother. He could already see through the whole situation. Because he's still young and he doesn't care at this point. He doesn't really put a lot of emphasis in relationships. He even said at one time, yeah, I'm not really looking for a girl. I really don't care what they think. And I think this is the best approach when it comes to a relationship in general. You shouldn't really care about what you do in a day. They should already be into you. They should just have fun doing something with you. And that's the key, guys. We go to the movies. It's not the movies that was fun. It was watching the movies with you. It wasn't going mini golfing that was fun. It was going mini golfing with you. It's not going out to dinner, to McDonald's, Wendy's, or KFC or Applebee's, or top, or some 5-star restaurant that I really don't know about. It's not about going there. It's about going there with you. So everything, going on a picnic, going on a walk, amusement park, parade, you know, a family visit, anything. It's not about the destination. It's about being there with you at the destination. It's about doing things together. So no matter what you do, honestly, any type of date you go to, they're gonna enjoy it. So in this situation right here, this is another perfect example of, if they say no, it's gonna be okay. Right here, this guy right here on the right is talking about how broke she is, blah blah blah. She's rambling off, and then this dude is like, what? How about we go back to my place? My parents are home. Home chica wow. He's trying to invite her back, get some alone time. But the thing is, it's like, this is alone time, But obviously, when you ride him back home, it's a little bit more intimate. But still, it's like, bro, you're overthinking it. He says this might be my chance. It's like you're really overthinking it. Like, being alone in general is fine. Being at the home, I guess you want to be more intimate, maybe more physically intimate. But these things will eventually happen. And he's just worried a little too much, and he's think, oh damn, shit's not going my way. Fine, maybe shit's not going right. Maybe she really isn't into you, but that shouldn't really get to you. There's more fish in the sea. And honestly, you're still kids. It's like, bruh, you really shouldn't overthink it. You really shouldn't put too much emphasis on you. You know what I'm saying? Now you're judging yourself. Now you're judging your performance. But in all reality, it's probably because she's not into you, and that's fine. You shouldn't expect someone to be into you right away or at all, honestly. You know what I'm saying? At all. I don't expect no one to like me. I don't expect anyone to love me. I don't expect jack shit. And I honestly don't give two shits. And you shouldn't either. If someone does, and if someone isn't into you, it's like, all right, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that someone's into me. I can appreciate that someone has any type of interest in me. I appreciate if someone just scoffs at my videos. I even appreciate dislikes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the fact that they even, lend an ear is good enough for me. They look your way. That is enough for me. But yeah, guys, see, he says that we've been dating for some time now. I thought it'd be a good time to strike. I don't know what that says. But yeah, it's like, you shouldn't really worry too much. If they're really into you, pretty much doing anything on a date will suffice. Even the cheap shit. Like, go to McDonald's, get a cup of coffee, go for a walk, go to the beach. All these things will be fine. Go bowling. Like, that was my go-to, Bowling was no, I take that back. Bowling is not my go-to. A walk is more like it. Go for a walk.